You already know your zodiac sign says a lot about your personality, but today we're going to talk about the side you don't post on social media, the side you try to hide, because every sign has a toxic trait, and once you see yours, you can't unsee it. By the end of this video, you'll know the exact toxic trait tied to each zodiac sign, why it shows up, and how it affects your relationships, your goals, and your mindset. No sugarcoating, just straight truth. Let's get into it. Aries, the hothead. Your toxic trait is impulsiveness. You act first, think later, and then wonder why everything feels chaotic. When you're triggered, you don't argue, you detonate. Your fire pushes you to lead, but when it burns too hot, you scorch everyone around you, including yourself. Taurus, the stubborn one. Your toxic trait is refusing to change. You cling to routines, grudges, and outdated beliefs because they feel safe. But this "I'm not moving" energy also keeps you stuck. You'd rather endure a bad situation than admit you need to pivot. Gemini, the two-faced communicator. Your toxic trait is inconsistency. One day you're all in, the next day you're gone with zero explanation. You say what sounds good in the moment, but your follow-through can be non-existent. People don't know which version of you they're getting. Cancer, the emotional manipulator. Your toxic trait is guilt-tripping. When you're hurt, you don't always express it directly. Instead, you withdraw, shut down, or make others feel responsible for your feelings. You crave emotional security, but sometimes you create the storms you cry about. Leo, the ego. Your toxic trait is needing validation at all times. If you're not admired, praised, or appreciated, you can spiral fast. You want to shine, and you should. But when your ego takes over, everything becomes a competition. You drain yourself trying to stay on top. Virgo, the perfectionist critic. Your toxic trait is needing everything done your way. You see flaws nobody else notices, and then you point them out. Constantly. You think you're helping, but sometimes you're just exhausting everyone around you. Even worse, you judge yourself even harder. Libra, the people pleaser. Your toxic trait is avoiding conflict at all costs. You smooth things over, stay neutral, and stay quiet, even when you're hurting. But your silence builds resentment. You try to keep the peace, but you end up losing your voice. Scorpio, the punisher. Your toxic trait is holding grudges like trophies. You don't get even, you get ahead. Once someone crosses you, you mentally bury them and walk away like they never existed. Your intensity is unmatched, but so is your ability to shut a person out forever. Sagittarius, the runner. Your toxic trait is avoiding commitment. The second something feels heavy or limiting, you bolt. You crave freedom so much that you sabotage good situations because they feel too serious. Your optimism is bright, but your avoidance is blinding. Capricorn, the cold overachiever. Your toxic trait is choosing work over people. You shut down emotionally to stay focused. You grind, hustle, achieve, and repeat. But in the process, you distance yourself from anyone who isn't on your level. Your ambition builds success, but it also builds walls. Aquarius, the detached rebel. Your toxic trait is emotional unavailability. You act like nothing bothers you. You intellectualize everything. And when someone tries to get close, you retreat into your own world. You're brilliant, but sometimes you're ice cold. Pisces, the escape artist. Your toxic trait is avoidance. You disappear into daydreams, distractions, or unhealthy coping habits when life gets stressful. You feel deeply, but instead of facing reality, you drift away from it. Your empathy is powerful, but your escapism holds you back. Now you know the toxic trait of your sign and everyone else's. But here's the real question. Which one hit you the hardest? Drop your sign in the comments and tell me if yours was accurate.